Hey, what is up guys? This is Thomas, and in this video, I'm going to be reacting to one of the members of the 30-Day Challenge's videos. So, Stuart has just completed the 30-Day Challenge, and I wanted to react to his videos basically, and hopefully share some tips, tricks, and inspiration. So, the first of his videos is obviously day one, and let's give it a watch.
Okay, hey, my name is Stu. I am from England and I have a YouTube channel, but I really struggle to record videos. It's actually the recording part that I find the most difficult. I've written scripts, I have...
Cool, all right. Hello, Stuart. So, first 20 seconds of this, give you a little bit of context. Day one is literally do not watch any more of the tutorials and just make a video. That is day one. So that's the context of which he's making this video. We can see in the first 20 seconds some classic things. We got quite a few ums. Just watch that back.
Okay, hey, my name is Stu. I am from England and
So those ums come from both habit and nervousness. So most people have the habit of saying ums, especially when they're presenting something, and then compound that with nervousness, there's at least one in every sentence. So this is a pretty standard starting point for day one. Something that Stuart definitely does have is he seems to have quite a loud, resonant speaking voice, which is definitely one of his advantages here. And you can see some of the comments here, pretty good day one, etc. And I think that's true. I think this is a pretty solid day one. He's not coming from a super nervous place, so it's a good starting point. But there's definitely some improvements to make, so let's just flick through this.
they look okay, but when I was recording them, I tend to read like one line at a time, and then I then lose my place, and then the video ends up being kind of like a lot of little small edits that kind of just jump between where I've managed to say something.
So notice another thing here that Stuart's doing. He's kind of rocking on his feet a little bit, so, and that adds to this general sense that he seems quite uncertain here. This is one of those things that a loud speaking voice, it can't necessarily hide. I think there's often the excuse, right? I'm just not a loud, charismatic person, so therefore maybe I'm not good on camera. This is not true at all. I think being loud, having a loud voice is definitely an advantage. It's something that can be good, but if you're a quiet person naturally, you can really lean into that. And this just goes to show that having a loud voice doesn't mask any of the things that are happening underneath, which such as the rocking, the ums, there's a slight uncertainty, there's not too much eye contact with the camera. So rather than going too hard on Stuart right now, I don't even like giving feedback on day ones. I actually, I don't tell our instructors inside the program to give feedback on day one, because there's just no point. Day one is not about feedback. Day one is about doing it, and then maybe the feedback starts day 3, day 5, day 7, when we actually have something to compare it to. So although these are observations, they aren't any kind of critique. So let's go on to Stuart's next video, which is day 7. It says, hey all, I made it to day 7. My 3 things are stopping the ums and the ers, so these are the things that he wants to work on, showing more emotion and energy, which I agree, and speed of delivery, slowing down. Cool, so let's give this a watch. It's day 7.
Hey everyone, welcome to my day number 7. So it's been a really interesting journey so far. I've found 3 things that I think I'd like to work on for the remainder of this course, and I'm going to take you through them now. So number 1 is the ums and ers. I had a real problem.
Day 7, that's a massive improvement. He hasn't said once in the first 23 seconds. And if let's say there's an every minute or an twice a minute, it's completely fine. No one's gonna worry about it. I probably still say in some of my videos sometimes. And he hasn't had an for 23 seconds here. That's awesome. The other thing is just notice his body language and his certainty here.
My day number 7. So it's been a really interesting journey so far. I've found 3 things that I think I'd like to work on for the remainder of this course.
So we've just got this basic hand gestures that are here, here, back to here. It just feels a little bit more put together. Now, things that he's still working on here is, obviously he's referring to some notes that are down in the corner. It's not ideal, but it's something to work through. The other thing is he's still rocking slightly. So a little rock to emphasize something, you might say, and this is about this, and this is this. A little rock is fine, but if you're constantly rocking, this is definitely a sign of nervousness. Stuart's definitely reduced the rocking. So let's hear what he's got to actually say about these ums and ers.
A real problem with that, I think, in my day one, and I've had it relatively consistently throughout the other days as well. I felt like I needed to fill the silence and any gaps with those words, and I'm really trying my best now to not do that. So that's my number one.
And it's working.
Number two is showing a little bit more emotion and a little bit more energy. Where I teach my group fitness classes, I definitely have those things. I think when I come to film, I'm a little bit rigid. So I'd like to be a little bit looser, a little bit more fun, have a little bit more energy, show a little bit more of my personality. And one thing I think I have noticed is that when I film, I think the first minute or two, I can be more rigid. And I think as the video progresses, so I get into minute 3, 4, 5, 6, I think I start to loosen up and I start to forget about the recording.
So a couple of things here. Number one, definitely spot on with showing a bit more emotion and energy. I still do think Stuart's a little bit rigid. Even being on day 7, he's still showing signs of being a little bit stiff. But what he's saying is that for the first minute or two, he'll often be rigid and then find his flow within 3 to 5 minutes. Super true. Happens to me all the time still. Whilst my starting point now might be pretty good compared to somebody who's just started this, where I can get to after 3 or 4 minutes of talking is much better than that. So I think anyone can find more of their potential if they talk for a little bit longer. Now you might think, but the first minute is the most important bit. That's where you hook people's attention. That's where you give your first impression. So a really quick tip here is film a video talking about your topic and then film it again. And just know that your first video is a practice. So press record, talk for 4 or 5 minutes, as if you are really making the video. You have to try, that's the important thing. You have to try and really talk it through and then think, okay, could I do it better? Yes, press the record button. And then you start from the first second being pretty on point with what you're saying.
Number 3 is my speed of delivery. I think looking back at the videos I've done on this course, but videos I've filmed for my YouTube channel, I always try and get what I want to say out as quickly as possible so it's done, and I'd really like to slow down, enjoy the process more, and then hopefully in doing that it will become less of a problem for me to hit record in the first place.
So that's an awesome point as well. By slowing down and enjoying it more, the audience really feels it. I think it's important to be fast and to deliver information in a way that's concise and not waste people's time. But at the same time, you've got to enjoy talking. You've got to get to the place where it feels good for words to be coming out of your mouth at the camera. It's got to feel satisfying when you talk and when you form a sentence and when you relate to the camera and when you relate to your audience. Ideally, that's a good feeling. And when that is a good feeling, the audience is going to feel good watching you as well. If they just feel like you're not talking fast because you're excited, you're talking fast because you're nervous and you want to just get to the end, they're also just going to click off because why would they want to watch somebody with a nervous energy who's just trying to finish what they're starting? They want to watch somebody who's having a good time. Even if they're talking fast and excited or if they're talking slow, somebody who feels what they're saying and finds it enjoyable. So let's go to Stuart's day number 14. What's he got to say here? He can't believe we're already halfway through. He's sticking with his 3 sticking points. In day 14, you do a little revision and you talk again about your sticking points. So he's sticking with the same ones. He's also going to talk about relaunching his YouTube channel. Let's see how he gets on now.
Hey everyone, and welcome to my day number 14. I've really enjoyed this process so far, and looking ahead to the next 2 weeks, I'm really excited to continue working through all of the tasks that Thomas is going to have us do along the way.
Great stuff. So I think we can already see a slight jump from day 7. I think he's worked on that sticking point. He seems more happy to be here. He seems less nervous. He seems slightly more kind of content that he is actually making this video. And that makes a big difference already.
I've decided that I'd like to continue working on my sticking points, albeit with a little twist on 1 or 2 of them. So my first one is the
And notice how his energy here, it's not like he's amped himself up loads and he's just trying to be like, I'm enjoying this and I'm shouting at the camera because I'm enjoying it. Instead, I think he's actually a little bit quieter here than he was in day 7. There's two types of people. One type of person gets quieter when they're nervous, and I'm very nervous, so I don't want to make myself heard. And the other type of person, I'm very nervous, so I'm just going to speak really loudly, and hopefully that shows that I'm confident. I think Stuart's more like that second type of person. So the fact that he's actually just chilled out a bit here, and he's not speaking super loud, and it just seems like he's more comfortable, and that's way more appealing and engaging. Great stuff, so we're gonna move on to Stuart's day 21 here. Let's see what he's got in store for us. Day 21, a bit of fitness tech he wears daily, the Oura Ring. Can't believe I've only got 1 week of this course left. I'm looking forward to another week of learning. So, sweet. Let's have a look at this video. Now, this video is the task of, you're actually gonna make a video. This isn't just making a video, like talking about talking. This is, I want you to make a video about something that you would ultimately like to talk about or ultimately like to be sharing in a YouTube channel that you might have. So let's have a look at this and see how this is in terms of presentation.
Hey everyone, and welcome to my day 21. So my video was all about the Oura Ring. This is something that I wear on my finger, and it's essentially a fitness tech wearable. Why should you care? Well, essentially what it allows me to do is to track my readiness, how well I sleep, how stressed I'm feeling, amongst a whole load of other things. So I'm going to take you through those 3 key metrics that it gives you, just to give you a little bit more information, and then perhaps you can decide whether or not this is something that you may or may not be interested in.
Awesome, so I think he's doing pretty well in this video. He definitely has more expression than in his last videos. He's starting to, although it sounds silly, those are the expressions with the face when he's saying how stressed I'm feeling, like those kind of things, they show he's starting to become more comfortable on camera and starting to let his face relax a bit more, express itself more. A tip that I would actually give Stuart would be taking this to the next level and really connecting with his face when he is talking. So he might do an exercise that's more like really talking with the face and just being aware of how my face is reacting to how I'm feeling and what I'm saying. And although this might look weird and my face is probably doing weird things right now, if I make an entire video like this, I might be able to become more expressive in my facial expressions and sometimes be able to be serious and show that, and other times be able to be fun and to show that within my facial expression. Whereas what Stuart has here, I think his resting facial expression is just very relaxed. And although he's got this kind of brightness in his eyes and an excitement to share the thing he's talking about, his face doesn't really reflect that much. And as soon as he starts smiling or starts kind of doing this with his face, I find it way more engaging. So that's something I'd recommend for Stuart to work on.
And then the final point I'm going to cover today is a new feature to the Oura Ring that we got quite recently, is your daily stress. So as the day goes on, the ring is tracking your stress levels throughout the day. So naturally, if you've had a high amount of elevated stress or you're feeling quite anxious, hopefully the ring will track that for you. And then you can look at what you were doing at that part of the day.
So let's just take our focus away from expression a little bit. Focus back on the fundamentals here. Stuart's killing it. There's not a single I think, throughout this whole video. He's concise, he's saying what he wants to say, his sentences are well formed, there's almost 100% eye contact with the camera. He's absolutely smashing the basics and he seems very comfortable. So throughout this whole journey so far, there's been a huge amount of progress, especially in those basics. So let's go to day 30 and see how he ended up.
I think one thing for me that came out of consistently recording for 30 days was, I think doing the reps actually makes a difference. So I think we all think about starting a YouTube channel or recording on TikTok or Instagram, and you make one video, you post it, you might wait a few days or wait a week or wait 2 weeks, and you're not getting enough repetition in doing that. So filming every day really helped to bring down the barriers for me. So I think that's something that really does help. And I guess in doing a 30-day challenge like this, it's probably by design that we're doing that, because setting up the camera, pressing record actually will improve you even if you didn't do anything else, I'm sure. But having these pointers from Thomas and the guidance that we get from doing the course and perhaps the feedback you get from the Facebook group, I think that really helps and it really matters.
So as you can see, Stuart has made amazing improvements on the basics. He is talking with fluency, he's talking comfortably, he's talking like he's done it for a while, which by this time he hasn't, but because he's done that 30-day challenge, he's made a lot more progress in a shorter space of time. Now, the things that I would give Stuart to take away would be really focusing in on expression and emotion. So connecting to why he's talking in the first place, figuring out who he wants to reach, talking to those people with an authentic connection to his emotion, and that's going to make him seem a whole lot more human. I feel like through these videos, I want to get to know Stuart a bit better, but there's a little thing in between that's preventing that connection. So that's the next thing for Stuart to work on. He has actually emailed me and saying he's going to take the Creator Bootcamp next, which is exactly the right thing he needs to do. That course focuses specifically on those things. So I think that's going to be massive. I might do another reaction to him once he's finished that course and see how that develops him. But I hope you guys have learned something from this video. I hope it kind of inspires you to see the progress that you can make. It also helps to be realistic and understand that this is a journey where you will be working on things over time. If you would like to find out more about the 30-day challenge that Stuart here is taking, that is in the link below. That's called the 30-day challenge. You'll find a page with all the information there. And whether I'll see you there or in the next video, stay creative, keep filming. Bye-bye.